Hi, how are you? I hope you are very well. And today I'm in Brussels. Here's everything is quite nice. And also today is I need to do the webcast with you. But this afternoon I'm going to France. Probably I can't do it. Then I record it, and then if you later correct something, maybe can you tell me, send me email or something. Anyway, here someone's asked me to do it about the webcast, because this is the Sondopar institution and we are studying something. And then let's start. And now we would like to say we are perfect social animal, which is understandable, which is easily to communicate, and also very smart, intelligent, and extreme, I would say, perfect. But this perfect human existence, which is the great social animals, when we have this life or these conditions, this situation, it is very important to recognize really what it is, and also it is very important to test really what we have. Generally speaking, our human existence, we have a lot of discontentment or dissatisfactions, and also we would to say we have a such ignorant. According to our ignorant, nobody's understood about our life and our situation and what realities of our life and what it is. I think to recognize really our life and the situation of our life, I think it is very important. For example, in the Buddhist perspective, we are talking about inner peace, the peace of great happiness, the peace of non-violent, the peace of non-struggling, the peace of no confusions, the peace of free from such disturbing emotions, so on. And therefore we are talking about a lot of inner peace, and how we can to get the inner peace. I think through the understanding of the life, through the understanding of the what it is, which is the self and a life, particularly to have notion of life, which is to be aware of present moment. And generally we want to look the form, to listen the sound, want to test all whatever we are eating, drinking, and so on. But if we cannot to be aware of, we can't to be aware of the present moment, how we can to really look at the form, how we can to look at the listen sound and so others of the five objects of the desirables. And when we cannot our mind to be the present moment, or cannot to be aware of what occurring present moment, then whatever we have, it's never make happy. It never brings to us the inner peace, which is the satisfactions or contentment. And therefore we need communications in order to understand of life and what it is. It is very, very important to have that. And also in the Buddhist perspective, we are listening a lot about the Buddha's teachings, and also we are studying a lot about the Buddha's teachings. We came to say why? Because of to understand our life, and in order to understand what it is about the life. Some in case life is not simple. There are a lot of strugglings in order to get some peace and happiness. Generally speaking, the purpose of our life, it is happiness, of course. But how we can to get the happiness? That is the most important questions. It doesn't matter through the worldly activity or through the spiritual activities. And last, on Friday, our conversation, we said that whoever human beings or any beings to find the cause of the happiness, and that is very, very important to follow that, to telling to the others really which kind of bring happiness, not only the temporary happiness. It is really like some happiness to have forever, and we are looking for unchangeable happiness. And also quoting my mind, and my mind is the same as the you, and this mind is searching for the happiness and to concern the sufferings, how to avoid all the different type of the sufferings. It's no need to mention. There are so many different type of the sufferings in our life. Of course, quoting the Buddha's teachings, he is taught to us at the beginning to say it is very important to recognize which kind of do we have sufferings. Maybe some in the perspective to say that what we need to talk about sufferings. But if we don't talk about sufferings, how we can avoid about the sufferings? Like if we keep thief or robber in our house and every day we are losing something, but this cheater of the robber or stoler, it's with us and it's telling to us very nice, oh, you lose something, maybe someone's took your things, and we are never think about in our robbers. May we think in robbers are like perfect our families. It's really supporting to ours. We never ever think about in these robbers taking things belonging us. And then if we don't recognize the inner our robber, how we can to avoid these robbers, and how we can to recognize some kind of robbers outside. The outside there's not truly existent robbers, because in reality the robber or the stolen is inside, but we never recognized like this. And we have such different sufferings, but when the suffering occur, at that moment we say we don't want, I'm suffering, it is terrible, I want to get rid of it. And then we are try to find the solutions, but already occur these situations. At that moment it's quite very difficult, and we can a little bit before that occur in our life, we can to arrange something. And therefore, for example, Buddha, he said, if you recognize and your sufferings, and then you naturally thinking about the source of the sufferings, and once you recognize the source of the sufferings, and then you can naturally to try or to put effort to get rid of the cause of the sufferings. It is the truth. Once we recognize inner thief, robber, and then it's like we naturally to got these problems, and maybe we can to give education what you are doing it, and we can to talk, and we can to get rid of this rubber. And maybe if we can some compromise or to do something inner peace, inner rubber, and this inner rubber is completely stopped, then we do not need to worry it. Then it's the inner peace naturally there. There's no body's rubber comes from the outside. The inner rubber we made kind of revolutions or made something perfectly, then there's no problems losing things. And exactly like this, if we can to do something for the cause of the sufferings, which is how we can to purify it, how we can find some antidote or some method in order to get rid of the cause of the sufferings, then happiness are naturally occurring. The meaning of the happiness, which is the perfect cessation of the cause of the sufferings. If there is no cause of the sufferings and the result of the sufferings, then there is naturally or automatically happiness there. And also we come to say we need to concern about the happiness. How we can to get the happiness. Happiness and inner peace and perfect contentment. It is really necessary to have us. If you haven't got inner peace and the contentment, and it's difficult then to have happiness inside. Most happiness, of course, comes from inner peace and to have perfect contentment. And therefore, in order to have the inner peace and inner happiness, and Buddha said, we need to contain or the training our minds. If we train our mind and to look or to really to look at our minds, to check out really is the how it is, what is the meaning of the mind, what is the feature of the mind, and what is the essence of the mind. That is the most important, because the reality and the creator of the happiness, it is the mind. And also the experiencer of the happiness also is the mind, which is mind create the happiness, also mind experience the happiness, and the same way also mind create the sufferings, the cause of the sufferings, and then it's also mind experience the result of the sufferings. And in the Buddhist perspective, everything is the doer or the experiencer of all happy and sufferings. It is the mind. And therefore we are talking about inner peace, which is the happiness. And for that, we really to communicate in order to find the cause of the happiness. For example, I'm kind of Buddhist, and of course it's difficult to say I'm really Buddhist. It's difficult to say I'm really follower of the Buddhas. Why I say that? If I'm really to follow the Buddha's teaching or listen perfectly the advice of the Buddha, or peerless his followers, which is his disciples, those disciples give some mentioned or the suggestions or the advice. If I follow all those advice which comes from Buddha and also his disciples, some superior disciples, and then if I follow utterly 100%, I can have easily inner peace, and easily my mind have had perfect belonging of the contentment, and I become the perfect human existence. There's no doubt. But I'm not perfect follower. Really, I'm like, I would to say I'm hypocritical practitioner of Buddha's teachings, and therefore I'm all the time to say I'm kind of faking followers. It is really to say the sorry things. I have perfect path, genuine path, extraordinary path, which is the path of the Buddha. It's making me my life wonderful if I'm followed perfectly. If I'm followed perfectly, it's making me understand my life. It's making me understand what it is which is my life. If I understand fully my life, then I can easily to understand others' life. And the Buddha, he said, you need to take example yourself. To take example yourself, you need to understand yourself. You need to recognize yourself. If you do, if you can, then easily to help others, easily to understand the others, what they need and what we came to share. For example, if I want to share something with you, if I don't understand myself, what can I share for you? Because myself, I'm fully confused. I don't know really what is my life. I don't know what is really what it is, the reality of my life, then what can I share with you? And first, I need to recognize my own qualities, my own situation, and also specifically what I need. What I need, maybe you need that. What I don't need, maybe you don't need that. Therefore, I think Buddha's message is so fantastic. Why I say that? Because you take example yourself, then you can to taking care others. You can take care others. It is the marvelous. And if I do understand my own wish, my own purpose, my own situations, maybe it is the same as you have this kind of wish, you have this kind of situations. For example, look in the human societies. All of you, we are very much same style of the life, way of the thinking, concerning, and also doing things, because we are family of the human existence. Of course, not only the human existence, all the sentient beings, the concerning of the things are completely same. For example, I'm looking for the happiness, also 100% you too. And I'm looking for things which is the sufferings. That is, I do not want to have sufferings. 100% you too. But how we can to have happiness and how we can to get rid of the sufferings? If I have something methods, if I have some tools in order to get the happiness, in order to get rid of the sufferings, through that methods or the tools, if I got it, then if I have inner peace, if I have inner peace, and then say, I'm a wonderful, I want to tell you, it is fantastic. Like the same way, like I'm a diabetic person. I have problems diabetic. I'm looking for some medicines. I'm talking with some diabetic person. Do you have some medicines in order to cure the diabetic? And someone says like this and that. I'm very much interested to have that medicine in order to get rid of my diabetic. Like same, we have very bad diabetic. There are many different diabetic sufferings. At the beginningless time until now, it is not necessarily some specific diabetic sickness, but there are so many different diabetic sickness. It's the diabetic sickness of the birth, old age, sickness, and the death. That is the worst sickness of the diabetic. All those sickness of the diabetic, how we can to find perfect medicine? Can you find? Can I find? How? That is very important. If you find something, please could you tell me? I'm telling to you now, and the best diabetic medicine is the Buddha's teaching and the Dharma. Maybe may you think to say the sarcastic way, okay, then you can take this medicine. You can cure your diabetic. But my physical diabetic, probably I don't want to cure it. Even maybe this is so fantastic for me. In the physical, my diabetic make something strange things in my life. But it's showing me something how it is my life. And this diabetics is all the times to telling me, saying, do you recognize your life? Do you understand your happiness? Do you want to be perfect happiness? And also it's telling me a lot the experience of the sufferings. It's making me happy. It's giving me some such educations. I'm so happy. I appreciate my physical diabetic. Really, if I haven't got this physical diabetic, I mean, I would be maybe very strange guy. But according to my diabetic, and I can all the time understand whoever problems about the physical diabetic. And through that, and then I can listen very well about the Buddha's teachings. And when I listen to Buddha's teachings, it's coming together, then I can easily recognize the really my life, easily to understand what it is, which is my life. And when I have this kind of realizations, this kind of understandings, it's naturally, automatically to make me such happy. It's bringing me a lot of contentment because I'm only concerned with the present moment. Present moment, I'm in the Pure Land. Present moment, my life. Present moment, my nature. Present moment, my positions. Present moment is really reality of my life. It is a wonderful to be my mind at the present moment, to testing everything. I'm testing at that moment really all my life. I can recognize. My mind is never be the present moment. I never recognize my mind. My mind is like kind of big foggy and big mirage, hallucination. I don't know really what it is, what is going on. Time is very fast and I'm counting time, week, month, years. But to think years, time is quite longer, but to spend it is a very, very fast. I'm saying I'm 50 years old guy, but I'm concerned on the past. I don't know how I came to here. It's just I carried a lot of distracted mind. I never understood about what is really my life, what is really my purpose of the life. Now I'm quite happy. I'm not a realization person, but I'm happy because of the Buddha's teaching. And I have such contentment because of the Buddha's teaching, because I'm be aware of the present moment. I'm no need to concern in the futures. If I concern in the futures, I need to do some positive things. Really positive things. If I do some positive things, I'm saving in my future life. I can contribute something to the others. That I need to do positive things. And also according to the Buddha's teachings, I understood perfect causalities. Once I understand the causalities, wow, it is a wonderful. I'm living in the causalities, and the teaching said causality is the inevitable. And also he said, you do not to do some negative things, to do some positive things. And that is the really Buddha's teachings. Why? Because he's telling about the causalities. Doing negative things are really negative because it's bring a lot of negative, which is the sufferings. Doing positive, it's positive because it's bring a lot of positive happiness. And therefore, Buddha, he said, the suffering and happiness, there's no other creators. The suffering and the happiness creator, it is our own minds. And if we can to manage it, our mind, if we can to look at our own mind, if we can content or training our minds, and then we can understand something, and through this understanding we can to manage our life and our minds, and then minds can manage happy and suffering both. And like this, I'm all the time to say I'm not perfect follower of the Buddha's teachings, but I'm kind of the follower of the Buddha's teaching, and therefore I'm telling to you to say, if you study the Buddha's teachings, really it's a kind of cause of the happiness. If we really to perfectly to listen the Buddha's teaching, not necessarily to follow the humans movement or humans expression or the humans mood, mood and the humans behaviors. Only listen to the Buddha's teachings and follow some superiors, your guide, and that give you honest teachings, telling to truth, and never say something such, or I'm good, I'm a realization, I'm like this, if you want to follow me, and that's not like this. And compassionate, superiors, genuine guide, or the follower of the Buddhas, they telling truth to us, which is the truth of our lives, how we can recognize our life, and we can recognize what it is, how we can to arrange in our life, and how we can arrange about the death and so on. And therefore I'm telling to you, if you interest about the teaching of the Buddhas, it is marvelous. It can support you very, very much. I would to say is this best supporter for your mind, the Buddha's teachings. It is the best psychological medicine. It is the Buddha's teachings. And please, of course, you are studying Buddha's teaching in the marvelously, extremely, much better than me. There's no doubt, but please to continue. And if you study Buddha's teachings, you understand maybe perfectly your life. You realize that what it is, which is the crucial point of the life, the essence of your life. And then you easily to understand the cause of the happiness, and easily to understand the cause of the sufferings. Then you need to tell to your families of the other sentient beings. They are looking forward to you in order to you become the guide for them, protect to them. Now it is really time to study things, to correct ourselves, to be perfect, genuine, or perfect, authentic, not perfect, arrogant, not become the perfect, proud. and this is not very good. All the time saying I'm good, you need to follow me, and not like this. Please to be serious yourself to study the Buddha's teachings. And for example, we would to say is like we are talking about the inner peace, which is inner peace is the come from the reality of the minders, and which is the true nature of the minders. And the meaning of the true nature of the minders, it is the essential point of the minders, the essence of our mind is, and the reality of our minders. That is the inner peace. Therefore we call the inner peace. If you got the inner peace, 100%, you have automatically outer the peace. Maybe may we think some lamas, some others, they realize that inner peace, which is the true nature of the mind, but still there is some complications. Maybe those realizations itself, absolutely wherever they be, they have inner peace, they have peace. Even we cut or destroy to them right now, they never say I'm suffering. But of course, under others' confusion, chariot sentient beings' perspective, and may we think they have something also, sufferings or something strange things. For example, we can say someone's, oh, Buddha, he is enlightenment, but he died. Of course, he is enlightenment, he seeks it. This is not in his perspective. This means it's like kind of giving the educations to us. It means to demonstrating, to say, taking care. The end, everybody is sick. Once we sick, there is maybe the sickness is become the cause of the death. No, everybody is going to die. There's no doubt. When the death is occurring, that moment we need inner peace, inner energies. If we haven't got inner peace and inner energies, and the Buddha, he said that how I can to help at that moment. If I can, of course I do, but it is very, very difficult. And therefore, it is says that very difficult and to help, and we necessary to have inner peace. I'm now making the webcast. Okay, I will call you. Oh yeah, Eden. Okay, and Eden, she called me, and just right now. Sorry for that, but it's okay. And I mean, it's like this, and it's very important to really recognize our life and what it is. And I'm saying it's like if once we can to recognize what is the really mind is, and then it's bring to our inner peace, inner happiness. And also once we can to recognize the inner, our true nature of the mind is, and then it's bring a lot of contentment. For example, we can to say the inner true nature of your mind is, it is the inexhaustible treasures, because it's bring what you need, everything's by this. And then what we need, once we got the inner true nature of the perfect inexhaustible treasures of the mind, and that is the enough. We do not need any at all outer material things. Then there is naturally we have contentment, and there is perfect satisfactions. And then what we need, what we are looking for, if we recognize inner true nature of the mind, inner true nature of the mind, inner true nature of the mind is, it is nobody's gift to us. We have had at the beginningless times, whenever we have mind, there is naturally to be there. Therefore we call the inner our own potential of the true nature of the mind. And also it is nobody cannot take out, rubber it. Only rubber is our own self. And if we recognize it, we become the perfect. We got the whatever we needed, and that's we are become the owner of the universal, and we are become the richest of the in this world, and we become the most intelligent in this world. We become the most happiest of the in this world, and we came to do something benefit others. We can help ourselves. We can help to the others. It is the marvelous. Therefore, all the Buddhist peoples want to realize that their own true nature of the mind is true nature of the mind, which means inner our own potential of our own qualities. It is the symbolic of the peace. It is the symbolic of the happiness. It is the really antidote for all the sufferings. It is maker of the liberation, all the confusions, all the what is the type of the sufferings. And therefore it is very important to research your inner Buddha nature, inner your true nature of the mind. And if you listen to the Buddha or believe the Buddhas, and when we died we are not finished, there is continuation of the rebirth, and we have like a continuation of the rebirth. Then wherever we reborn, if we do not recognize the true nature of the mind, there is naturally the occurring of the confusions, and then the confusion is bring a lot of sufferings. And therefore it is very important, I think, is concerning your true nature of the mind, and also how we can to develop, how we can to making manifestation of the inner our Buddha nature or inner true nature of the mind, and through the practicing of the compassions, through the practice of the positives, positive, which is the all the source of the positive. It is the compassions. And if you really to practice impartial compassion, I'm saying concerning to the others, it is like really concerning the beneficial. What can I to do others? They are same as myself. And what can I to do? How I can to make liberate to them? Like kind of this kind of intention, this kind of idea, it is we call the compassion or bodhicitta, or the like altruistic mind. This altruistic mind is purified our mind. Mind make dirty mind itself through the ignorant. Mind can purify mind itself through the compassion, through the wisdoms. And therefore we need, and the mind needs some positive things. Which is the perfect positive? Which is perfect positive is the compassions. And when we develop the compassions through the listen, through the reflections, through the comprehend of the compassions, that is the way are developing the compassion of the wisdoms. When we develop the compassion of the wisdoms, and then it's a compassion bodhicitta, naturally is coming. These true ideas, true developments, we can to reach the perfect inner peace. We can to have perfect contentment. Okay, maybe I need to go to now. Each time is I make short, but sorry, I will try and send more. And if you are interested, I don't want to talk something strange things, Mahamuda, Dzogchen Chimbos, because those subjects are wonderful, excellent, but I'm very stupid for those things. And like I'm talking with you with like kind of according the family situations, and according the family situations, really telling truth in my life. We do not think about the superpowers. We do not need to think about play, or do not need to kind of games. and to be serious and to seriously to concerning our life, what we to do in our life, something positive things. It is necessary. It's like, or if I say you need to do like this and that, then it's ridiculous. If this, I need to do that. But it's like in the family situations, to compromise, to chatting, to talking, and to conversation, to say how we can to recognize in our life, how we can to recognize what it is. And sometimes we call the suchness, means it's the really crucial, the essential point of our life, and that is necessary. And also to recognize ourselves, who we are, where we are, what we are doing, and all those kind of really is. And also as much as we can to get rid of the confusions, and it's like, therefore, to be serious, listen to the Buddha's teaching, to study and the teachings, different teachers' teachings. It is very important. I think you are doing perfectly. If I get more informations according to some of my understandings, I will tell you. And I don't know, next time is maybe I can to put the suggestions to there. But maybe it's not something Mahamudra or Dzogpa Chimbos. That is not. But of course, if you study very well, if you can tell me, I'm studying, and I will tell you, maybe we can together, maybe we can to study something in the future, more deep, more profound. I'd be very, very happy. I'm very happy. Thank you very much, and your intention and your time, and I have great wish and for the nice weekend, and to be strong, long life, to be serious, to change your negative behaviors and to have perfect positive behaviors. That is most important. And thank you. Bye bye.